The final mitzvah of the Torah appears in our double portion, Nitzavim Vayelekh, in the Vayelekh second portion of our double portion this week. Ve'ata kitu lechem et hashira hazot. Now write down this song, this poem, and teach it to the people of Israel. Put it in their mouths in order that this poem, this song, this shira hazot le'ed should be a witness against the people of Israel if we stray, when we stray from the Torah. So one understanding, probably the pshat understanding, this shira, this song is Ha'azinu, which is next week's, the next Torah portion, which is absolutely, unequivocally a poem, a song. But Chazal, our rabbis, understood that this to be a mitzvah of writing the entire Torah, the mitzvah of writing a Torah scroll. So the Shira Hazot, this song, this poem, refers to the Torah. So one really interesting line of investigation is the halachot of this mitzvah of writing a Torah scroll. In the Middle Ages, the 13th century, Benu Asher says, actually, in our day and age, since we written Torah scrolls are kept in the shul and only used for public Torah reading, we don't actually use the Torah as a tool of study. This mitzvah has now become a mitzvah of purchasing and writing and publishing books of Torah like Mishnayot and Gemaras and commentaries, Rishonim, okay? He was a Rishon, so I don't, whatever, he didn't refer to his generation as Rishonim, but commentaries on Chumash and Gemara and other books of Torah that are used for study. The purpose of the mitzvah is to enable and promote Torah study, and we don't use Torah scrolls for Torah study anymore. We use them for ritual reading in shul, and so the mitzvah has shifted to books or the methods in which we teach and learn Torah in our generation. The later halachic discussion on the Rush, and I brought some sources on the source sheet, really question whether the Rush was saying that the mitzvah has been replaced or whether the mitzvah has an added level. Okay, is it that we still have an obligation to write a Torah scroll, which you can do. You could write one letter, right? Since a Torah scroll missing a letter is invalid, if you are there to write one letter, you've done the mitzvah. It's a once in a lifetime mitzvah. You're set. But that mitzvah still exists. And in addition, when you buy svarim of books or other medium by which Torah is studied, that is how you fulfill the mitzvah in a primarily way. It's an additional mitzvah, or whether the plain sense meaning of the Rush is that the mitzvah has actually been replaced. Okay, so as we added to the mitzvah or replaced the mitzvah, it's a fascinating conversation up until contemporary poskim debate, and it's really a fascinating analysis for a different occasion. Maybe a good Shavuot class. Maybe we'll return to this maybe then. But the other question, which I find so captivating, is the ways in which the Torah can be described as a song. A few weeks ago, I shared the beautiful, beautiful words of the Aruch HaShulchan, Rabbi Michael Epstein, in his introduction, his Hakdamah to the Aruch HaShulchan, which is an encyclopedic, massive collection, essays on Jewish law. He goes through topic by topic in Shulchan Aruch and just gives really extensive, detailed investigations, explanations of the backstory of the halacha, as the bottom line halacha, as well as more refined descriptions of details. He was a rabbi in Novordik, so his commentary is this is what was done in traditional Eastern European Jewish society in the late 19th, early 20th century, before the breakdown of traditional Jewish community in Eastern Europe. So in his introduction, he says, and I quoted this in Drasha a few weeks ago, that Torah is like a song insofar as the multiple voices that comprise our tradition enhance the beauty and splendor of the Torah. These are all voices that are striving for truth and that express a facet of this divine truth, the words of the living God, Elu ve'elu, and so they create a harmonious beauty in a way that reminds us of music, where different voices create harmony and beauty, hopefully, right, rather than a cacophony. And that's how the Torah is like a shira, can be likened to a shira. Another explanation of how the Torah is a shira is offered by the Netziv, and it's Tali Tzvi Yehuda Berlin, one of the most creative Torah commentaries of recent centuries. He died in the late 19th century. He's one of those key figures in the 19th century Renaissance of Orthodox Bible commentary, and he in his introduction to his commentary on the Torah, he explains several different ways that the Torah is like a shira, is like a song, or is like a poem. And one of them I thought of recently when we were at the Kumsitz a few nights ago, and we started singing the American song American Pie, which is a very cryptic song. The lyrics are very strange. It was something very, actually found very moving, seeing the guests of a certain generation who knew all the words by heart, singing along with great earnestness. But you need to have a peirush, you need a Torah Sheba'al Peh, you need an oral Torah, as it were, lahavdil, to understand what that song is about, because every cryptic line in the song is actually an allusion to some other historical event, some added context that is necessary to make sense of what actually the song is trying to convey. And the Tziv says that's just like the Torah. You need to understand that the words of the Torah don't make enough sense. They're not self-contained. They're not self-sufficient. You need a Torah Sheba'al Peh. You need an added layer of meaning and explanation and context to make sense of what the Torah is trying to make. And that is characteristic of a shirah, of a poem. And that's, I think, a very beautiful insight of the Nitziv. So we have two different ways of understanding the mitzvah of writing a Torah scroll, whether it's we write a Torah scroll and also we buy and write and publish books, or whether maybe now we only write and buy books, or maybe even digital media for conveying and learning Torah. Is it added or is it replaced? And then regarding the central question of how the Torah is like a song, we see two explanations that we've discussed today. One is the Aruch HaShulchan, who says that the Torah is like a song and that multiple voices create harmony. And the other is the Nitziv, who says Torah requires oral Torah in order to be comprehensible, and that is an element that the Torah shares with poetry in a way that really is different from simple prose. I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. Excited to spend this final Shabbat of the year with many of you.